Next, let us talk about the key issues related to housing, new township, and industrial estate projects. This gives you some ideas and guides while producing the Eng-aim report for the relevant project. First, the ecosystem and sustainability. Ecosystem is referring to the ecology that maintains the natural balance among the components. This includes the variety of living plants, animals, and other organisms. Now, the development project involves the land clearing. This has disturbed the balance within the ecosystem and downgrade the overall integrity of the areas. As a result, it can bring impacts to the diversity of the plants as well as the living habitat for the animals and organisms. Second is about the site access. The meaning of site access is to have the site connected so that it is reachable by any transportations, such as trucks and machineries necessary for the constructions. Now, if the relevant site has the roads and tracks readily available, the impacts due to the site access will be relatively small. However, if there is no existing access, this will involve land clearing and also the construction work. This will disturb the soil conditions, as a result, leading to erosions and sedimentations. It also leads to the loss of flora and fauna due to the removal of the vegetations as well as the disturbance of the habitat of the animals and organisms as a result of the land clearing and the construction works. Erosions refers to the detections of the portion of the soil profile and the soil surface. This usually happens due to the removal of the vegetations from the soil as well as the disturbance of the soil surface. As a result, the soil particles can be transported from a place to another place before being deposited. Now, this transportations and depositions process is known as the sedimentations. As a result of the erosions and sedimentations, the downstream may be affected, especially when the soil is transported by the surface runoff. It may also lead to localized ponding and flooding and bring impacts to the natural stream flows. Next is the hydrology. This is related to the land clearing and platforming, where the natural physical terrain and drainage of the area is being changed hydrologically and morphologically. Now, the silt from the erosions will result in shallower stream. This will affect the discharge rate or the flow of water, leading to a new path discharging the water. Also, the local groundwater table and the drainage structures may also change. The other effects due to the development of housing, new township, and industrial estate project include negative visual impact when removal of vegetations and expose of the bare area will bring negative visual impacts to a natural scenery with greeneries. And then the noise and vibrations. This is mainly due to the construction stage as well as the operation stage of the development. There will also be concerns with the air quality when the soil surface is exposed. We might also need to consider the carrying capacities specific areas in order to avoid detrimental effects such as overcrowding that cause discomfort to the locals, stress on utilities, amenities and infrastructures, and the environment. This figure shows the relevant studies for the EIA report. This may include the slope analysis, which is related to the terrain and slope classifications, soil erosion analysis, soil loss and sediment yield before the constructions and during the construction. LD P2M2 stands for the land disturbing pollution preventions and mitigations measures, and then pollution study related to the sewerage, baseline sampling related to the water, air, noise and vibrations, topographic survey, ecological habitat mapping, stakeholders consultations, post-EIA monitoring program, and other studies required by the government agency. The studies required by the government agency include site investigations. The relevant government agencies are listed here: Soil and Sediment Control Plan, Zoning Compatibility, Social Impact Assessment, Traffic Impact Assessment, Health Impact Assessment, Heritage Impact Assessment, Wildlife Management Plan, Waste, which include the biomass, scheduled waste, constructions, municipal. What you see here, when we talk about the environmental impact assessment, since now the definitions of the environmental impact assessment has been expanded, not being limited to the biophysical environment, the social and economic environment has now been included. This shall result in the approval and enforcement of the environmental impact assessment is not limited to only the departments of environment. The considerations now has become broader, and it will require the consultations from various government agencies.